Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. My name is Nik Muhammad Amir Adham bin Anwar. I am from AS2291A. Today I want to present about transplant experiment of desert locust. What is transplant experiment? A transplant experiment, also known as a common garden experiment, it's an experiment to test the effect of environment by moving two species of their native environment into a common environment. The name was originally applied to experiment on plants, but is now equally applied animals such as lizards and ants and others and organisms. Next is transplant experiment concept. Moving individual of a species to an unoccupied area and determine if they can survive and reproduce successfully. There are two outcomes of transplant experiment. First is successful, which is limited distribution is due to area inaccessibility. Time has been too short to reach area not recognized organism as suitable. Second is unsuccessful, is limited behavior, biotic or abiotic factor. Advantage and disadvantage of transplant experiment. For the advantage, it is simple and requiring little technology. The disadvantage of this experiment may require considerable times and labor, and the number of the test organism is often relatively limited. Thank you.
Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. My name is Hashim bin Ahmad from AS291A. I will present about desert locust. Desert locust is a species of locust, predically swarming shorthorn grasshopper in the family Aricidae. They are found mainly in Africa, South Arabia, West Asia, and extending into part of South Asia. During population search year, they may extend into part of western Spain. The desert just show periodic change in the body and can change in response to environmental condition. Over generation from a solitary shorter-winged, highly fecund, non-migratory form to a gregarious, long-winged and migratory phase in which they may travel long distance into new areas. In some years, they may test from locust plague, invading new areas where they may consume all vegetation including crops, and at other time they may live unnoticed in small numbers. Next is locusts differ from other grasshopper because they can change from a solitary living form into gregarious, highly mobile. The dark swarm and hopper band as their number and density increase. They exist in different states known as precision with low and intermediate number, rising to outbreak and extremely high density of plague. Okay, that's all for me. Thank you.
Why do we choose desert locust? The desert locust is potentially the most dangerous of the locust pests because of the ability of swarms to fly rapidly across great distance. The major desert locust upsurge in 2004-2005 caused significant crop losses in West Africa and diminished food security in the region. During plague years, desert locusts can cause widespread damage to crops as they are highly mobile and feed on the large quantities of any kind of green vegetation, including crops, pasture and fodder. A typical swarm can be made of 150 million locusts per square kilometer and fly in the direction of prevailing wind, up to 150 km in one day. As an international transboundary pest that threatens agriculture, production and livelihoods in many countries in Africa, the Middle East and South Asia, their population have been routinely monitored through collaboration between countries through the United Nations Food and Agricultural Organization. Its migratory nature and capacity for rapid population growth present major challenges for control, which characterized much of distribution area. In February 2020, the UN Food and Agricultural Organization announced that desert locusts are destroying tens of thousands of hectares of crops and grazing in Northeast Africa in the worst invasion in 25 years. Some of locusts can eat their way through thousands of hectares of crops, causing food insecurity. Some are predicted to move in wave to India and Pakistan till early July. So the main way to control swarm of desert locusts is by spraying organophosphate chemicals, ideally by drones and planes. Early destruction is key to curbing locust growth and spread. Thank you.
One of the experiments that has been conducted to the desert locust is a comparison reproductive traits between irregular and irrigated males. The first method of this experiment is irradiation, where we took the desert locusts and exposed them to a gamma ray of cobalt-16 for 10 days. The second method is survival and fertility of irrigated males. We took 50 irrigated males and 18 regular males and placed them in a separated cage. For fertility, we took 18 irrigated males and paired each one of them with a virgin female. And the third method is sperm transfer. To determine the sperm transfer, we took 16 regulars and irrigated males and placed them individually with a virgin female. Pre-copulation times were recorded and inseminated females were dissected with a saline solution to count the quantity of sperm transferred. The result of this experiment for survival and the fertility, the irrigated males will only live for 10 days and the regular males will live for 25 days. For fertility, all regulars and irrigated males were able to inseminate the female. However, the female who were inseminated by the irrigated males they have a very low rate of hatch. And the sperm transfer pre-copulation time was similar for both of them, but the copulation time is a bit longer for the irrigated males. In conclusion, irrigated males were able to mate, but the numbers of offspring is reduced compared to the regular male. In a single copulation, the irrigated males will produce a fewer count of sperm rather than the regular males. But theoretically, the quantity is enough to fertilize the egg produced by the female. Thank you.
Hello. Assalamualaikum. My name is Abu Safwan bin Abu Sahari. Okay, the conclusion that we conclude from the desert locust is the researchers responsible for this study conclude that the existing desert locust monitoring and management practice and capacities in Northern Africa should be maintained and recommended greater vigilance on the southern and northern features of the current distribution area. In Southern Africa, the possibility of the southern subspecies becoming a greater threat to agriculture should be watched particularly closely, notably as regards irrigation capacity under new climate conditions. Beyond the uncertainties linked to modeling of the distribution area for a given species, the study showed that the preventive management strategy for this major pest cannot be seen to be set in stone. It must be reviewed constantly to take account not only of possible climate change but also of changes in the socio-economic context. The CIRAD research team is continuing to work on the desert locust in the aim of improving management of the pest by taking account of its many aspects and considering it as a complex adaptive system. Okay, that's all. Thank you.